What's good, gamers? Welcome back to Fizzy MTG. Baby, we got another one for you today. Another cool, interesting, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you guys are enjoying these, if you guys think these are cool or not. We're going to look at an interesting deck today. This one is still kind of work in progress, but it do work. It's just not like, it's not the optimal version I would like because I don't have some of the cards I want, but this is a food deck. So we're going to read a couple of these lands. This here is a gingerbread cabin. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other forests. When gingerbread cabin enters the battlefield, untapped, create a food token, which is very useful. I'll read what the food token does right here, just so you guys are aware. Food token, it is an artifact with pay 2. Tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. And there are some other uses for food tokens, as you'll see in this deck. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a Castle Garenbrig here, so hold on. We'll read this. Castle Garenbrig enters the battlefield tapped unless you have control of forest. Tap for 1 mana, pay 2 and 2 green. Tap, add 6 green. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 forests. And then we've got 1, and we've got, oh yeah, just a jungle hollow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Witch's Cottage, very cool. Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more swamps. When Witch's Cottage enters the battlefield, you may put target creature from your graveyard on top of your library. It can be very useful. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 basically, and then 10, and then a dual land. That's basically our land base here. Now we get into the meat, or the food, or the whatever else. The Trail of Crumbs. When Trail of Crumbs enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So the idea with this is basically I want my food to do as much as possible. So I'm going to be sacrificing my food one way or another for different effects. If I have the spare mana and I need to know what's coming up, this kind of helps me to, sort of find stuff that I want easier. So it's very useful. Giant Skewer. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a creature. Create a food token. So it's very interesting, and you equip it for 3. So you want whatever creature has this to be able to hit creatures. So you want them to block this creature, ideally. So anything that lets you do that on your own it can be very useful. Foreboding Fruit. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Adamant. If at least 3 black mana was spent to cast this spell, create a food token. So that's always the goal. Another Giant Skewer. Bake into a Pie. A friend of mine has a food deck as well, and this is one of his favorite cards. It's very, very useful. Destroy target creature, create a food token. So you literally can turn your opponent's creatures into food for you, which can be very helpful. Fell the Pheasant. Fell the Pheasant deals 5 damage to target creature with flying. Create a food token. Once again, you can destroy your opponent's creatures, making food tokens for yourself. Whisper of the Wild. This is, if not my favorite card, one of my absolute favorite cards. But I do love this freaking card. Tap, add 1 green mana to your mana pool. Ferocious. Tap, add 2 green mana to your mana pool. Activate this ability only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. There's a deck that I will be showing. It'll be the last one I go through in my bulk recording here. Oh, man. This card right here is one of my favorites from that deck, and I believe there's a couple in that deck, maybe even more than a couple. Crashing Drawbridge. It's got Defender. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of turn. If you tap it. Sorry, I should have said. Tap, and then creatures you control gain haste. This is just a great card, at least in my opinion. Fierce Witchstalker. Trample. When Fierce Witchstalker enters the battlefield, create a food token. You see what I'm doing here? Trying to build food with pretty much every card It's a very food synergy kind of deck that I tried to build here. Another Bacon to a Pie, Bog Naughty, which is very interesting. Flying, pay 2 and a black, sacrifice a food. So see, this is a card that lets us utilize our food for something else. Target creature gets -3/-3 until the end of turn. So essentially, this right here lets us turn our food into potentially removal or weakening. Another Fierce Witch Stalker. Ginger Brute. He has haste. Pay 1, Ginger Brute can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice Ginger Brute, you gain 3 life. So he is essentially a food. Well, he's a food golem. But he also can do some cool stuff. He's also a creature. Curious Pair. Now we can pay 1 for treats to share, create a food token. Just a simple 1-drop food token. Or we can pay 2 and get ourselves a nice little creature. Just a 1/3. Ideally, we want to do this and then pay this and get the creature. We got a couple of those because, they're a pair. We got at least 2. Now, Tempting Witch. This is one of the best cards, I believe, for like food stuff, so it can be very useful. When Tempting Witch enters the battlefield, create a food token, pay 2, tap, sacrifice food. Target player loses 3 life. Yeah. This turns all of your food token into burn spells. So, pay 2, tap, sacrifice a food. Target player loses 3 life. Now, if you got multiple of these, you can, really start to burn your opponent. Again, you can only kind of do that once per turn, sadly. But still, not bad. Once and future. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Put up to 1 other target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. Exile once in future. Adamant, if at least 3 green mana was spent to cast this spell, instead return 1 of those cards to your hand and exile once in future. So, interesting. Another Ginger Brute. We got a Giant's Opportunity. You may sacrifice 2 foods. If you do, create a 7/7 green giant creature token. Otherwise, create 3 food tokens. So, yeah. This gives you 3 food or a giant. Literally, it's great. This is one of my favorite cards. Just I love this card, like flavorfully and everything. It's really cool. Trample, haste. When Clack Patrol enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/0/1 white goat creature tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If that player does, or if a player does, tap Clack Patrol. You gain 3 life, and you draw a card. So it's like, here, take these goats. You can use them to stop me from attacking, but you'll also let me draw and gain life as a result. And if you don't let me, if you don't, and you choose to block, there's 0/1s. This is an 8/8. You're taking 7 damage. Or, if you block with all 3, then you're taking 5 damage, and I'm still going to be, you're going to be down 3 creatures, so why not just down 1 and give me a life? It's fine. It's fine. You may Insatiable Appetite. You may sacrifice food. If you do, target creature gets +5/+5 until the end of turn. Oh, 1 second. Come on, focus. Otherwise, that creature gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Very nice. Another Giant Skewer. We've got a Lash of Thorns. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn, which is really, really cool. Another Bacon to a Pie. Another Bacon to a Pie. Wolf's Quarry. This is a 6 mana card. Create 3 1/1 green boar creature tokens with, when this creature dies, create a food token. So, it just gives you some little, blockers that give you food. Savvy Hunter. Whenever Savvy Hunter attacks or blocks, create a food token. This is usually the prime target for Giant Skewer, or even multiple Giant Skewers potentially, because the idea is whenever this creature attacks, it's going to create food, and if someone blocks it, it's going to create more food. So it's just like, this is usually the one we put the Giant Skewer on. Another Wolf's Quarry, another Tempting Witch, a Scalding Cauldron. Pay 3, tap, sacrifice Scalding Cauldron. It deals 3 damage to target creature. So, just nice to have. Tall as a Beanstalk. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and enchanted creature, has reach and is a giant in addition to its other types. Another Fell the Pheasant. Another Tall as a Beanstalk. Another Scalding Cauldron. Tempting Witch. And then a Maraleaf Rider. Sacrifice a food. Target creature blocks Maraleaf Rider this turn if able. Another point of this, buff this guy up, give him giant skewer, and you can then sacrifice your tokens to make more tokens. It's kind of funny. And another Bog Naughty, and that is our food deck. What did you guys think? Was this video a treat? Did you love it? Was it delectable? Or did it leave a bad taste in your mouth? Guys, let me know in the comments below. I'm trying to find, there we go. Yeah, trying to find the deck boxes for these. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this. Are you guys digging these videos so far? Do you wish we'd go back to opening cards? Guys, don't worry. I want to open more cards. One, I need money. Two, I need cards. You know, I gotta have the money to get the cards. So when I get the money, I'll get the cards. And then when I get the cards, I'll open. Yeah, you know how it goes. Also, gotta wait for more stuff to come out because I don't want to just keep on buying the same thing over and over necessarily. Although there's some things I absolutely love. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like, dropping a comment. Please let me know down in the comments what you're thinking of these. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a fantastic day.